They give you crumbs and you take it rather than having the confidence to take the world. Well, now you ain't got no crumbs. So now you ain't got no choice but to take the world.
Melissa made a 30-minute YouTube video on this topic 4 years ago. You can see it in the bottom right corner of the screen there. I still recommend clicking over to watch that. But, nothing could surprise you more, dear viewer, than to learn that this ranting, raving communist revolutionary was in fact linked to and supported by the post-communist, anti-communist regime of Vladimir Putin in Russia.
Now see the situation for what it is, because when somebody is feeding you, they can control you, says Thomas Sankara. That's why I hate welfare. That's why I hate food stamps. Because it's a fucking crumb. Just so you don't get up and cut their throats.
What's going on?
I'm kidnapped.
You're kicked out?
Kidnapped.
You're kidnapped. And who kidnapped you?
Black Hammer.
Who?
Black Hammer.
Yes! Everyone's talking about Black Hammer.
Do they have any weapons?
Yeah.
Do they have them on them?
Yeah.
Okay, is it guns?
Yeah.
2025. Black Hammer's Long Shadow, or Growing Old Gracefully with Commander Gazi. It was perhaps a sign of incipient insanity when Augustus Romain decided that he preferred the stage name Commander Gazi. His parents really had given him a name worthy of Plutarch's Lives to begin with. I could find just one source reporting that a long list of criminal charges against him had been dropped. Meanwhile, a separate court proceeding accused him of knowingly working as a Russian agent, with one possible interpretation being that his whole political movement was little more than an attempt to disrupt politics as usual in America as a service to Black Hammer's Russian paymasters.
And is it just you that they kidnapped or somebody else there?
Multiple kids and me.
Where are the kids located?
We are downstairs in the garage locked in trains.
Black Hammer was born 2 years ago with the intention to build a world where no human lives at the expense of another living thing.
This is what their supposed intention was, and you see how it worked out for them. This is how their revolutionary unity ended, with kidnapping and holding their enemies hostage in a garage.
Sorry, I can't really hear you. Did you say you do need an ambulance?
I am defending for these people. I am the only help to get out this house.
According to prosecutors, the four carried out a number of actions in the United States between 2015 and 2022 on behalf of the Russian government. And they received money and support from Alexander Ionov, the president of the Moscow-based group Anti-Globalization Movement of Russia. Mr. Ionov used the APSP, the Uhuru movement, and Black Hammer to promote Russian views on politics, the Ukraine war, and other issues, they said. The BBC might mislead you into assuming that he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. But no, merely 5 years probation is reported by MSNBC.
I need to say it, but I'm doing what I gotta do. You let the judge know that at trial, this is serious. I gotta protect myself.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
No,
Okay.
but I could die in a second.
Developing out of Fayette County, shocking allegations tonight against the leader of the Black Hammer Party and one of its members.
This comes after a deadly SWAT standoff in Fayetteville. Fox 5's Doug Evans has more.
The Justice Department said that in addition to protesting Meta on Russia's dime, i.e. objecting to Facebook censorship as to what could and could not be said about the war in Ukraine, Augustus Romain posted Russian propaganda to social media at Ionov's direction and sought Ionov's input on a news release from their organization that condemned President Joe Biden's support for the war against Russia in Ukraine. This case is a prime example of why voters must be wary of ostensibly radical activists whose rhetoric closely mirrors Russian far-right rhetoric. That was a block quotation from MSNBC. And I say, on my blog, in reply, on the contrary, this is a prime example of how utterly meaningless far right and far left have now become in the careless parlance of our times. If Commander Gazi can be described as far right instead of far left, this is from my blog. À-bas-le-ciel is the name of a YouTube channel. Until the YouTube channel gets deleted again. It's the name of a podcast. It's also the name of a blog.
That standoff lasted 6 hours Tuesday after a 911 caller claimed to be a captive in the Fayetteville home. Arrest warrants obtained by Fox 5 say 2 men were being held captive in the home at gunpoint by a group called the Black Hammer Party. Those warrants accuse self-proclaimed Black Hammer leader Augustus Romain of kidnapping, aggravated assault, aggravated sodomy, as well as gang activity, after the 2 men were allegedly ordered into a padlocked garage at gunpoint.
In case it is unclear, Augustus Romain is Commander Gazi, the same man in this clip.
The warrants identified Amante Ammons as the second Black Hammer member who allegedly participated in the kidnapping. After the standoff Tuesday, Fayetteville police say they found Ammons' body in the home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
Before he was arrested and put in jail, this is what Commander Gazi had to say about the incident.
They came in there guns blazing.
A man who runs a shelter in Fayetteville is demanding to see police body camera video from a deadly standoff at his home. He says he doesn't trust the police account of what happened, and he wants to know how a 19-year-old inside the home died. Police say the standoff started as a call from a person who said they've been kidnapped. Officers arrested 1 man at the shelter, but the homeowner says he told police a teenager was still inside. Police sent in a robot, which indicated there was a gunshot.
Did he take his own life?
No, he would never.
If you wanted to read the rest of this short article, you would find that on my blog, along with, obviously, the ability to click to the other articles and videos through the links provided. Melissa's channel has another 30 minutes of content on the strange fate of the Black Hammer movement, above and beyond the next 12 minutes you got coming in this video you've already clicked on my own channel.
Did he take his own life?
No, he would never. He would never.
The homeowner says the teenager did not even have a weapon. Meanwhile, police say they don't know who fired a gun, but it was not officers.
In terms of commentary on the Black Hammer incident, I'm going to include clips from the YouTube channel à-bas-le-ciel. Azel Mazard has recently uploaded a video called Against Chalkboard Logic, Ethics, Philosophy, and Politics in the Real World. And I would encourage anybody to watch that video. However, this particular clip is relevant to the Black Hammer incident.
People end up with blood on their hands. Oh, and now you got a whole circle of people. They didn't sign up for this. Who can you trust within your own unit, within your own cell? So after this happens, now you got one guy who has blood on his hands, one guy who did the killing, and you got 5 or 6 people who know. Todd here. Todd's a flake. Look at Todd. He's all shaken up. Since he saw that guy die on the floor, since he saw that guy bleed out, he's been falling apart. I think he's going to tell someone. I think he's going to tell his wife, his girlfriend. I think he's going to tell his parents. I think he's going to tell the cops. You know, Todd, we could trust him for years back when we were just doing protests on the sidewalk. But now that it's burglary, now that it's terrorism, now that there's a dead body involved, I don't think we can trust Todd anymore. What do you want to do about it? It's him or you now. So all 5 of you are going to jail if just one of you snitches. What happens next? Oh, I'm sorry, you haven't thought this through.
Faisal says it better than I could. He's done a lot more reading and he's just had a lot more life experience. And he knows this is what happens when you get involved with a dangerous political organization like Black Hammer. Now this is what Chief Oju had to say in response when he was interviewed by the local news after the incident.
Our Commander-in-Chief, Commander Gazi Kodzo, arrested, as well as our Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, Colonel Kino.
They don't mind being called an extremist group.
If we take that with pride, we take that label with pride, because that means we're standing in line with those in history who have stood against evil and stood against oppressive systems.
As you can see, the remaining leaders of the Black Hammer organization are still supporting Commander Gazi. They stand firmly in the belief that they're doing the right thing, that they're on the right side of history. I'm going to include some clips from the Black Hammer YouTube channel that is now deleted, so I think this is the only evidence online of this meeting that they had uploaded to the internet. And I want you to reflect that this was the summer of 2021, and we're nearing the end of summer 2022. None of the things that he promised happened. Yet, the remaining leaders still support Commander Gazi. This is the level of belief that they have in what they're doing.
It's time to go to war, Hammers. We gotta go to war. We gotta go to war with doubt. We gotta go to war with depression. We gotta go to war with self-hate. We gotta go to the war of ideas. The greatest war. Once you win the war of ideas, you've won all wars. And the way we go to that war, Hammers, is by building. We've got to build this summer. We're going to be building this summer, and we're going to build fast. We are going to have the home zone and the food forest done for our people by the end of this summer. This will all be done by the end of summer, and we will show them videos and pictures, and I'm going to hold up the basket of produce. And I'm going to laugh in that camera and say, how you like me now, cracker? How you like me now, cracker? And I'm going to say, my people, this bounty is for you, of service to you. Our beautiful, poor, and working class colonized people. We are of service to you. We love you. You are great. You are powerful. Watch us work for you.
It didn't happen. What did happen? What happened to Hammer City? Will Sommer, politics reporter at the Daily Beast, reports, in the summer of 2021, Black Hammer reached its apex with an attempt to build Black Hammer City in the Colorado wilderness. Land was at the core of Kodzo's promises to his members. Black Hammer members often repeat the phrase, land back, in party meetings. This time, the group claimed it had liberated 200 acres in Colorado for the would-be town, and Black Hammer members began to travel there from their base in Atlanta. In Hammer City, there will be no rent, no cops, no coronavirus, and no white people, declared one Black Hammer member who went by the nom de guerre General Anko. Kodzo's internet haters quickly predicted the site would turn into Jonestown 2.0. While it didn't go that poorly, the attempted city was a disaster. Former members complained online that they were stuck in the wilderness with few supplies. Savvy claimed she and several other Black Hammer members became sick after attempting to burn mugwort for warmth, getting poisoned by the smoke instead. The city experiment came to a final end after a local man complained to Black Hammer that they were blocking the road with their cars. In his later account to police, the man said several members approached him with guns, and one unholstered a pistol to threaten him. The owner of the land Black Hammer was attempting to buy backed out of the deal, and police ordered the group off the land.
And I guess your deal fell through with buying that land up there, and so the have requested that we call you and inform you guys to vacate the property, as well as the HOA.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually just speaking with a realtor and some troubles what's happening with the title company, but I'll be speaking with Teddy, the realtor, to get a little bit more information, but understood. We're packing up everything now, and we'll be out.
Once you leave, you're not allowed to come back up and go on to any other property up there or use the roads.
Understood.
Hammer City collapsed, leaving behind only a half-done footbridge, screws scattered across the road, and shell casings the Black Hammer members had left behind from target practice. Black Hammer members retreated back to Atlanta, where former members say Hammer City's failure prompted rounds of recrimination from Kodzo. In an echo of communist struggle sessions, they say they were forced to write bruising self-criticisms when Kodzo felt they had failed him. Sadly, I think most people who read this article are not going to understand what the author means by struggle session. I have an audio recording from Land Wars. Land Wars is a book discussing many of these struggles that happened in communist China. I wouldn't have understood this had I not done the reading myself. If I were relying on my high school education, or my university education for that matter, I wouldn't understand. You should do the reading yourself, and I hope that listening to this clip will inspire you to do further reading on the history of communism. As seen in this account of a rural struggle meeting during a 1965 campaign against corruption, even village cadres could be struggled, as if they were land reform-era landlords. To open the session, the master of ceremonies whips the crowd into an emotional frenzy by portraying the person's crimes in as lurid a light as possible. From the crowd, carefully prepared activists scream out cursing cries of rage. Others get caught up in the enthusiasm and start yelling out as well. Then the accused is let out by the local armed militia. He is often made to wear a heavy placard branding him a traitor, class enemy, and so on. People from the crowd spontaneously bring forth evidence that amplifies his misdeeds and shows that these are part of a whole despicable pattern of wrongdoing. Shouted curses fill the air. Sometimes strong young militiamen rise from their seats and beat the enemy of the people. This is not officially permitted, but depending on the purposes of the session, it is sometimes informally encouraged and tacitly condoned. The guilty person stands facing the people during his whole ordeal, which can last several hours. He is an object of the struggle by the people, not one of the people. When the session is over, he is dragged away in total disgrace. He has been symbolically destroyed. While the struggle objects in this case were corrupt cadres, not landlords, all of the key features of land reform struggle are present, including the use of small groups to prepare villagers, the public explication of evil deeds, the shouting of politically charged rhetoric, and the use of humiliation and violence. Mao's Cultural Revolution furthered the model of struggle perfected in agrarian revolution, now firmly entrenched in urban political culture. According to one recollection, prior to the struggling of two teachers, students explicitly discussed the importance of following Mao's Hunan Report, which had detailed the use of dunce caps and the parading of class enemies. Cultural Revolution struggle sessions featured slogans, humiliation, violence, and other familiar features. Many elements of struggle were taken to extreme degrees during the course of the Cultural Revolution. One struggle object wore a 5-meter-high dunce cap decorated with paper cutouts of skeletons, monsters, turtles, and ox heads during a parade. 1 year ago, I uploaded a video about Black Hammer. I'd compiled some sources that I found online because I was concerned. I cared. And I think you should care too. Why? Because this can happen again. At the time, some people online were talking about Black Hammer. There were other videos, there were news reporters talking about Black Hammer. It was concerning to me. It was disturbing to hear that there was a communist organization in the United States. Today, fewer and fewer people care about this story. Fewer and fewer people are making YouTube videos about it. But it still matters. It's still important. I don't know if anybody was inspired to read a book after that. I don't know if anybody thought, wow, this is really serious. I have to do something. I have to become more informed. Well, I'm coming to you now with an update on Black Hammer. And I really hope that if you weren't 1 year ago, that today you feel somewhat inspired to read a book about communism. That you read something about this history so that you don't let it happen again. So that this doesn't happen again. So that a communist organization doesn't kill again. Nobody stopped the leaders of Black Hammer until it was too late. until there was blood on their hands. If you have access to the internet, you have access to sources like land wars. You can read the actual historical source and come to your own conclusions. Don't end up like the members of Black Hammer. Don't end up like a member of the general public who's completely uneducated in political matters. When they hear something like this, all they can do is throw their hands up in the air and say, "Looks like this is another cult that's ended in tragedy." You cannot depend on your school teachers to teach you this information. You cannot depend on your university professors to become a well-informed person. You have to do it yourself. You have to read sources like this. You have to talk with other people about it. Don't end up like the members of Black Hammer. Don't end up a completely culturally and politically inert person.